breaking news from the United States of America. In another massive strike against the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, because of his ties with MTN, is accused in US courts of aiding the Taliban and having direct personal responsibility for killing American soldiers and civilians in Afghanistan. The US Department of Justice confirmed that Ramaphosa is under investigation for funding and aiding terrorism under the 1992 US Terrorism Act. Buried deep inside MTN's latest financial report is a chilling admission. The company faces not one or not two, but 5 lawsuits under America's Anti-Terrorism Act, and while civilian suits like these target compensation for victims' families, a criminal grand jury probe had just been launched by the Department of Justice into MTN's dealings during the time Ramaphosa was chairman of this company. In this video, we will tell the full story and everything that was released by the United States Department of Justice. The South African telecommunications giant MTN is under investigation by the United States of America's Department of Justice for supporting the Taliban during the Afghan war, which lasted from 2001 to 2021. The United States accused MTN, then led by Cyril Ramaphosa, through its 49% share in the Iranian telecommunications company Irancell, of aiding and supporting terrorist groups in the Middle East. Furthermore, it directly aided the Taliban in acts of terrorism that led to the deaths of American citizens. MTN, with Ramaphosa at its head as chairman of the board, is alleged to have made shady deals with the senior Taliban officials in an attempt to safeguard its operations in Afghanistan. Furthermore, under Ramaphosa, MTN allegedly supported the Taliban with logistics and services in return for being able to continue operating in the region. Back in March 2025, MTN's board quietly signed off on its latest annual financial statements. And as we said, buried deep inside that report was this bombshell. MTN admits it is facing 5 separate Anti-Terrorism Act cases in the United States courts. One of them, Zubay v. MTN Group Limited, goes right for the jugular, alleging that MTN is legally responsible for the deaths and injuries of American citizens killed in terror attacks across Iraq and Afghanistan between 2011 and 2019. Another civil lawsuit filed against MTN in the United States in December 2019 had been thrown out on a technical ground, but was recently revived, and now on August 6, a second amended complaint has been filed in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. This lawsuit focuses on money paid by MTN under Ramaphosa to Taliban officials to safeguard its infrastructure and towers. On top of this, MTN now faces yet another criminal investigation from the Department of Justice itself. While the civil action is aimed at recovering these monies and damages for these victims' families, this new grand jury probe we are looking at right now is a criminal inquiry that could lead to indictments and penalties against the company and its management of the time, and notably the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, who was sitting at MTN's helm as its chairman right at the middle of the time when these deals with the Taliban were being made, according to the United States. And make no mistake, when Washington swings its hammer, it's not only the company's balance sheet that shatters, but also the political career of every leader who thought they could profit while American blood was spilled in Afghanistan. The MTN Group Limited, originally called Mcell, was founded in 1994, the year the ANC took over the country. The company was rebranded as MTN, or Mobile Telephone Networks, and grew quickly, becoming a major competitor to Vodacom, solidifying its position as one of the 2 biggest telecommunications companies in South Africa. By 2010, the company had grown so much that it became the largest mobile operator on the African continent. And today, MTN, while headquartered in Johannesburg, here in South Africa, operates in 19 countries and serves over 300 million customers mostly in Africa but also in Iran and Afghanistan. Its success has often been hailed as an exhibition of African or black economic progress, with foreign investors pouring billions into what many saw as a crown jewel of South Africa's post-apartheid black-centric economy. Yet, the fact of the matter was that MTN wasn't just a successful first black-owned company founded in post-apartheid South Africa, it was built fully with government funding and close alignment with ANC cadres, one being Ramaphosa, who of course greatly benefited from taxpayer funding to bankroll this so-called private company. It became a symbol of ANC patronage networks where political power and business interests merged so tightly that the company's fortunes ultimately aligned with the party itself, becoming a funnel for taxpayer-backed grants right into the pockets of ANC top brass. Many of its founding executives were ANC activists during the liberation struggle, including Cyril Ramaphosa, who we know served as MTN's chairman from 2002 to 2013, which is right in the middle of the time where the accusations were made for funding and aiding terrorism. Since 2018, the chairman of the company's board has been none other than the ANC's Mcebisi Jonas, who Ramaphosa had appointed as special envoy to the United States earlier this year, but whose appointment was thoroughly rejected by the United States. In a recent video, which you can watch by clicking on this link right here, we at the Willem Petzer Group highlighted Jonas's anti-Western political views, which include his proposals for tyrannical measures such as taking away freedom of speech from white South Africans. Indeed, MTN's deep ties to the ANC's elite have created a gigantic political problem for South Africa today. And he's right, because when Washington comes knocking, it won't just be MTN as a private company on trial, as there is nothing private sector about this company in the first place at all, but it will be the ANC itself and the ANC's own credibility. For years, this company has been the watering hole for cadres pretending to be businessmen, just like Cyril Ramaphosa. Yet the irony is now that the very political ties that once allowed Ramaphosa to become a billionaire despite never starting a business in his entire lifetime have now firmly made him one of Washington's main targets in its counter-terrorism initiative. By the way, if you find our work informative, receive free updates from us on WhatsApp by just clicking or following the steps on this banner right here. This investigation we are looking at by the Department of Justice into MTN as Ramaphosa-linked company aiding Islamic terrorism indeed comes at a very strategic time. It must be understood against the backdrop of everything that happened over the past 6 months. The US has been repeatedly criticizing Ramaphosa's government for its support for Hamas and other terrorist groups for months on end. When the former South African ambassador to Washington, Ibrahim Rasool, was kicked out by Trump, his links to Hamas were expressly cited as one of the main reasons. Furthermore, a bill recently introduced in the US House of Representatives is calling for a comprehensive review of US-South Africa relations, prompted in part by the accusations that the South African government supports Hamas. The bill cites that Ramaphosa's government's alignment with both Hamas and Iran as a growing threat to United States interests and national security. Time and time again, Ramaphosa has stood shoulder to shoulder with dictators in photo ops, all the while his government pushed anti-Western resolutions at the UN. At home, he presides over collapsing infrastructure and an economy in freefall and a coalition of chaos barely holding the state together. Ramaphosa's links to Islam go well beyond his political alliances and connections, however. Back in 2021, Ramaphosa was filmed worshipping Allah in a Cape Town mosque.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allah. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد.
I wouldn't say Ramaphosa himself is a devout Muslim in any sense of the word. This may very well have been just a PR stunt, but it firmly shows where Ramaphosa's loyalties lie as to for whom he did this PR stunt in the first place. Now, when considering the Department of Justice's investigations into MTN, it must be remembered that this is more than a company. It is the symbol of post-apartheid black economic empowerment, the very political playground where ANC cadres enrich themselves greatly. And secondly, that this jewel has now become radioactive. The American Department of Justice isn't targeting this corporation in itself, but the political class that has sheltered it and benefited from it. Make no mistake, this is not only a legal battle or a civil battle in that sense, it is a geopolitical strike at the heart of Ramaphosa's ANC and South African government. The US Department of Justice's grand jury investigation into MTN now zeroes in on two explosive fronts: the company's protection payments and logistical support to the Taliban during the Afghan war, and its 49% stake in Iran Cell, a company long suspected of channeling resources to militant Islamists hostile to America. For MTN, this is already devastating, but the political stakes for South Africa's president and government are much higher. Cyril Ramaphosa, as chairman of the MTN board from 2002 to 2013, was not some distant bystander just sitting in a position. He presided over the very period when almost every one of these allegations and alleged dealings were taking place in Afghanistan and Iran. If prosecutors demonstrate that MTN's board approved or knowingly ignored such so-called security agreements with the Taliban, then the current South African president and the leader of the ANC are not just directly tied to MTN's links with Islamic terrorism, but also bear the brunt of the responsibility for aiding terror attacks on American citizens, soldiers and civilians. If Washington proves that MTN's board signed off or turned a blind eye to any of these so-called security agreements, Ramaphosa would stand accused in the court of history of helping bankroll jihadists who killed American citizens. Indeed, the man lecturing South Africans on democracy and the rule of the law while steering the country off a cliff may soon be exposed by the Americans for building his wealth and power not only on patronage and corruption networks, but on deals with terrorists. For when America sharpens its knives, it doesn't just bleed a company's balance sheet. It cuts into the very heart of regimes and tyrants that thought themselves untouchable, like Ramaphosa. Do you like our content? Make this channel stronger by becoming a member of the Willem Petzer Group. Just follow these steps on the banner right here to contribute monthly. For the ANC itself, this could be the breaking point. MTN has always been one of the only symbols of black economic empowerment success stories and a jewel of post-apartheid success of black business. If it is now revealed as a little more than a front for ANC patronage and terrorism-linked deals, the narrative already collapses. The very policy that the ANC used to justify decades of enrichment could now be weaponized by its enemies inside and outside of South Africa. For Ramaphosa personally, the scandal threatens not only his legacy but also his grip on power. The day Washington issues indictments, the ANC may finally be forced to decide: protect its president or cut him loose to save itself. Either way, South Africa is headed for a political earthquake, which was predicted. The Willem Petzer Group already predicted months ago that the tariffs and condemnation of South Africa by the United States of America were only the beginning, and that the United States would soon start striking the heart of the ANC much harder. This probe into Ramaphosa for funding and aiding terrorism was the first real strike against the ANC, of which we are sure many more will follow, which ties neatly into our video about the end of the ANC coming soon. If you haven't yet, you can watch that video by clicking on this link right here. And remember to become a member of the Willem Petsche group. Your help is greatly appreciated as it helps us make videos like this and helps us grow stronger and reach the hearts and minds of other people who watches this. Just follow the steps on this banner right here to become a member. Goodbye and God bless.